No.
Hey folks, it's Mike and Angel with Retro or blah blah.
What he said.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Hey everybody, it's Mike and Angel with Retro RV Recon.
And we're coming to you today from our
Driveway.
From our driveway.
We're coming from the driveway.
We're in our driveway.
Literally, we're in the driveway.
We're not camping our driveway. We're not camping in the driveway.
We hadn't been out in so long. We decided we were going to come camping.
Don't let them think we're camping in our driveway.
There's no shame in camping in
We're
your
not
driveway.
camping in our driveway.
You can't see my eyebrows go way up when I say that. There's no shame in camping in your driveway.
But we're not camping in our driveway.
Okay, but if you wanted to camp in your driveway, there's no shame in it because that means at least you get to get out and get in the camper. However, we're not really camping in the driveway.
Thank you. We're not. What we're doing out here today is prepping for a long 2-week road trip.
Yes, our 2-week road trip is going to be out west.
Our big adventure.
Yep. And,
out west.
Yeah, so in the preparations, we've decided we could probably record some of this stuff and share it with y'all.
There's some good tips.
Some
We have a
good
list. Things to bring, things to leave behind, right?
Yep,
That's
yep.
important because it is a whole different preparation to prep for 3,500 miles
Right.
than it is just a weekend
And
camping trip.
Yep, and you're not just prepping what you're doing in the camper, you're prepping the tow vehicle, you're
Correct.
prepping the outside of the camper, you're making
Yes.
sure everything's good because when you go 3,500 miles round trip, it's a little bit different than going 600 miles round
It is.
trip.
So we have lots of information to share, lots of good tips, especially for you newbies,
Okay.
or maybe some that you just haven't thought of before.
Yep, so stick around
Stick around.
and listen in, and maybe we'll say some probably ridiculous stuff in the end. All right, so here's the inside of the camper today.
It may look like a tornado came blowing through here, but that's not what happened. What we're doing is sorting and rearranging, taking things out that we won't need to make room for things that we will, because it's a very different process getting the camper ready for a 3,500 mile trip out west compared to what we've been doing, which is a weekend camping trip like 300 miles away.
Yeah,
right?
you know, we stay on Interstate 55.
Right. So part of this process is, you see the cabin doors are all open. We are rethinking what we need and making room for it because
Right.
we will be on the road for 14 days.
We're taking out what we don't need.
Taking out what we don't need. And Jilly's not going to be going with us on this trip, so there's a space down there that we can use. And just, so this is the chaos it looks like when you, day one of prepping. This is it. It looks like a mess, but it is an organized mess. Right, Michael?
Yeah, we're getting it laid out. We're getting it set up the way we need it to be.
Yeah, in other news, the microwave and the refrigerator have never been cleaner. So, just want to put that in there.
Awesome. Hey, folks. Part of the preparation for the trip we're going to do is I'm going to change out this stock shower head that is really like water faucet outside. You know, it's really not all that it's not very useful. So anyway, we're going to use, we went to the World of Camping store.
The World of Camper
The World of Camper store. And
Camping World.
we're not supposed to say that.
Oh, that's
So
true.
anyway.
Oh, yeah, we're not getting anything. Yeah, we're not
So anyway,
sponsoring
we
them.
got this right here. It was, I don't know, it seemed all of them seem to have the features
The flow
that
control.
this thing right here's got.
Yeah.
But this one looked the coolest.
And especially with that big
And
old...
it says it's got flow control, makes tanks last longer. I'm not concerned about that because we don't usually boondock that much. 5 settings. But anyway, I'm going to swap out the old one. I thought this would be more like the metal ones that are...
Yeah, more flexible.
Yeah, way more flexible, but it's just another plastic one. And
So we'll see.
that was kind of what I didn't like about this one, is it's plastic.
Yeah.
You know, you run some hot water through it, when you run hot water through it, it heats it up and makes it more
Yeah,
flexible.
pliable. Yeah.
But anyway, hang on, and I'll show it swapped out. All right, there's the finished product. That's the super duper shower head. I was going to take this little doodad right here off. That's for the old one. But Angel said she could use that to hang stuff on. And I'm really wild about that, but couldn't do.
Well, it's perfect for a razor.
And you know, I just hooked it up on the bottom. And that's it. All of about 10 minutes. Everything was pretty easy to hook up. I used the existing holes. I got this piece of junk out of here. Done. And I think it's time for me to relax. I'm done.
Baby. Baby. Since you're already in there, you did such a good job with the shower.
Yes, dear.
My two favorite words.
Give me a minute. Don't look at me.
What is this on your hat?
Don't take it off.
We need to buy you some new hats, baby.
Don't take it off.
Then you can talk about your new hat when you put it on later. In the other parts of the video. Alright, here we go.
Oh well, so much for that hat. So anyway, since we're talking about hats,
Thank you, baby.
It's distracting not having that thing there. So since we're talking about hats, we have a pretty good bit of hats, and when we're camping, we like to wear them because camping hair don't care.
Right.
And, you know, you wake up in the morning, you go outside. My hair does all sorts of wild things in the morning. But anyway, we put this hat rack on the door, and I'm not a big fan of hanging anything on the door because I don't like stressing the hinges out. But this is just a strap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a strap over here. It clips on the top, it clips on the bottom, and you adjust the strap so that the tension is just right. It's not it's not anything more than just tension on there. And there are little, see these little tabs right here. They just pull out.
Okay.
They just pull out, and you can just hang the hat on it, and it's really light. The door, and there's no problem at all with it. It's hardly a load, and I love it. It's good.
The thing I love about this is it frees up space in the cabinet where we had this big collection of hats above our bed. And because we now have that spot on the bathroom door that was unused space, right? Since we bought that little hanger thing for the, what do you call that? A hanging hat rack?
I guess so.
Okay, just like for like $10 for the two parts, his and hers, it frees up all the space above the bed where, because we're taking this 2-week vacation, we can now have this entire cabinet a place to put our folding clothes, like jeans or shorts, things that we wouldn't hang in the closet, we can now put up here. And so we have space for that now. So moving the hats over there like that, and that temporary little vacation rack, it's not going to stay there permanently, but because we needed the space for more clothes, we now have it. So that was a useful thing. While I'm over here, let me go ahead and show you what we've done in the closet. You know, for a weekend, you just have a couple pairs of underwear, a couple pairs of socks. But when you go on a 2-week vacation, you're going to need plenty of socks and underwear, right?
Yeah, it's really cool with the basket.
This handy dandy little basket keeps it all organized in your closet, so you don't have to dig through the bottom of your closet looking for that, and you kind of, you know, it keeps it all organized.
Yeah, the camper closet.
Yeah, camper closet. So we're going to have hanging clothes here above it, but that's still useful space down there to put that. Another thing is, this just got delivered today, is this neat little jewelry case or hanger where you have the clear pockets, and you can just put, you know, a pair of earrings in, because I don't know about you ladies, but I do change my earrings often, and this is just a cool way to look at what you have, choose it, and then, you know, you're out the door. So that's really handy too, and it fits right inside the closet. All right, so that's useful. And of course, up here on Michael's spot, He also has a basket in the bottom of his cabinet for his socks and underwear, which that's cool because it's unused space down there at the bottom.
Yep.
And it still has plenty of room for our hanging clothes, which we haven't packed yet, but we're getting close to that time. And up above his side of the bed is this really cool document. I guess not document, but
well, yeah, we have documents in there. We have
in here in this
some maps,
case.
and we have some papers for the camper.
Keeps, yeah, all the campgrounds that we visited.
Yeah.
It's the maps to the campgrounds, but this is really cool. This is where it's the RV logbook where my husband keeps detailed reviews of the campgrounds.
I do keep a log. It's called the Captain's Log.
Yeah, the Captain's Log. This was actually
because
a
I'm a
gift.
Star Trek fan and love the Captain's Log.
He says that too when he sits down and write in. He'll say Captain's Log and whatever date it is. But you can see there's checklists of different things. About, the site number, place to put that, and whether it was level, unlevel, what, places to visit nearby. And we just can review, we can reflect on this, like when people want, of course, when people ask us what would be a good campground, we refer them to our channel, right? That's the best way.
That's the best way.
Because
like and subscribe.
Retro RV Recon. We do the reconnaissance.
Yeah, we go out there and reconnaissance.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
So,
just a good spot to keep all those maps so you won't have them all over the place. And then if we need a phone number for a campground, we know we have it right there in the top of that cabinet. So that's a good thing. The next thing we want to share with you are the kitchen cabinets and what we've done up here. I think the last time you peeked in here, it was just chaos. We were clearing out the cabinets, making room for other things. One of the things we did was take out our usual dishes that we take camping, the maybe glass stuff or the heavy plastic stuff that's reusable, and we replace those supplies with paper products, and that's in this cabinet. I'll show you that in a minute, but since Michael's there, I'll let you have a peek into this one first. What we've done is we went to Wally World. Y'all know the store I'm talking about. People call it the box store. And we got these stacking shelving units. And what I've done here is use the shelf liner, this non-skid, and it holds the containers in place when we're going down the highway.
What's that called? Easy liner?
Yeah, easy liner. And just go ahead and invest in the big, huge roll because you'll be using it. I believe, down here I even have little smidge pieces to keep the pots and the pans from jiggling around and rolling around down there. All right, and another thing you see is, this is always a great idea. Rolls of paper towels are great for keeping things in place when you're traveling down the road. It keeps things from falling, and anyway, it just secures it better. It's a good way to use your rolls of paper towels. All right, you can see I have some down here of that stuff. We leave this side open so we can get the coffee pot in and out. And y'all seen my coffee pot in the other video, so I'm not going to show you that again. So over here in these cabinets above the dinette, this is also kitchen supplies. We have cups. These little baskets were like 98 cents at Walmart. Utensils, cups, plates, bowls. We use paper towels for napkins, and
we just recently put that shelf in.
Shelf. So then it made use of our space that we weren't using before, and
all of our cabinets we added that shelf.
Yeah, we did, because that gives us twice the storage, which we're going to need in our 2-week vacation, right, baby?
Yep.
All right, so our all our paper stuff. Over here is what we consider our snack cabinet, but it's got my dish towels too. So I'll just put these extra baskets in there to hold some of our food products that we're gonna have. And this is our paper towel roll that stays on our table. But so that's a really good idea to use those shelves to take advantage of that space that's in the top of your cabinets. Down here in this cabinet, I like to keep cleaning supplies and garbage bags and tablecloths. And for this particular trip, we have we went and purchased a little small bottle of detergent so that if we do have a need to do some laundry, midway through our trip, we'll already have this with us. We won't have to go and buy some somewhere. And it's just handy to have it on hand. And this is like my favorite go-to for cleaning the camper. The kitchen countertops, well, anything really. Just use a wipe and then it's throw away, right? And this is Lysol, so it takes care of all the germs and the grime and stuff. So that stays under here with the supplies. And again, on this, come around this way a little bit, baby. This one also has the shelf. So, you know, it's using more of the upper space in the little basket that's sitting in there. Or you can still put stuff under as needed. All right. So, let's see. Is that about everything we had to share in here?
That's everything. I think inside of here we've added everything, and my job is just about done. My job's done. Yeah.
The things that we've been doing in here is just to make it easier for our trip, right?
Yep.
Purchasing these little small purchases that just make our day a little bit easier in the camper, since we're going to be in here for 2 weeks, just a little bit more organized and a little bit less. But let's see. I think that's everything in here.
Yep. I think
you
I'm
know
done.
how I said my jewelry thing just got delivered today?
Yeah.
Well, there's one more thing I'm going to need you to put together. You know how I have hats for every outfit?
We have a lot of hats.
Jewelry for every outfit.
We have a lot of jewelry. You have a lot of jewelry.
Remember I had this great idea for storing shoes in a space that we have only just discovered is a great place to put shoes?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Show them under there where you have a few of your shoes under there.
Yeah.
Well,
got my
guess
flip
what?
flops and my slippers.
Guess what? I found on Amazon.
Uh-oh.
This!
Oh, Whitmore!
Yes, it's adjustable. And not only is it adjustable, you can cut it to fit that space under the
Oh,
table
look,
to hold our
my
shoes.
favorite two words at the bottom of it. Assembly required.
Yes, it's like you're brilliant. I mean, look at all the stuff you've done already to improve our experience. So yes, so I will need this shoe rack installed before our trip.
Yes, dear.
Ah! My favorite 2 words. All right, so let's get to that list. We've been promising you the list. We're about to go through that list with you, and yeah.
All right, well.
Our preparations for a big trip versus what we do for a weekend.
Yep, hang
so
on.
Stay tuned. Here we go.
The next clip is the list.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a list of things, and
without further ado,
the upcoming trip is going to be probably close to 3,500 miles.
that's 3,500.
Yeah, 3,500 miles. So there are things that we do to prepare for that, like remember or at least double check that our the roadside assistance is available for both the truck and the camper, because you go way out somewhere and something happens.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Right. So anyway, the first thing on the list is truck prep. So I think if you've watched the other videos, I have a 2017 Ram 1500, and I've already done the tune-up on it. Actually, I sent it to a shop and they did a tune-up on it. So checking the fluids, changed the filters, and I've got about 100,000 miles on it, so I had those spark plugs redone.
Which a money-saving tip for that would be?
Yes. I use OEM parts on my pickup truck, and I searched online for the best prices for the OEM spark plugs, because the repair shop or the mechanic shop, they were going to charge me probably 25% more per spark plug, and my truck has 16 spark plugs for the 8-cylinder. So yeah, shop online for your parts, find a shop, find a place to do the work before you need somebody to do the work, so you can find an honest repair shop. And I found one out of Baton Rouge.
Who will let you bring in your own parts.
Yes, they will, and they don't have any problem with it at all. They
really
charge
cool.
me the labor, they're happy, I've got cheaper parts, cheaper cost. Another thing I checked and haven't done yet, but I have the tires balance rotated on the truck. Double check the air pressure a couple of days before we leave. I'll check all my lights, my running lights, my headlights, make sure they work. If not, replace them. We have a trailer lock. So there's a lock I keep on the camper while it's connected to the truck.
Hitch.
Yeah, the hitch.
The hitch
And
lock.
then we have a lock that we keep on the camper when it's parked, because how weird would that be? You come back from hiking, you spend a day out doing something, and you're a couple of days from home, and your camper's gone. So on a side note, other prep is make sure we're not taking these chairs with us.
All right. sorry. I was just trying to get comfortable.
So anyway, and check the hitch, check around the camper, make sure everything's secured. You know, like the awning that we're on, I just shake things, check bolts, make sure what's loose gets tightened up. When I did a walk around the camper, I was actually washing the camper, and I noticed some of the trim had cracks in it. So I looked at it, and sure enough, I kind of pressed on it a little bit, and it just split. So I went ahead and peeled all the old stuff off and replaced it with new. You can go to the World of Camping,
Camping World,
and get you can get I got a roll of it for I think $30, 100 feet worth.
he did it all himself. I was so impressed.
It was pretty easy, you know.
Can you see it on the camera?
Probably so. Yes, that white stuff right
all
there
that
around the
was
door.
replaced. That's the
I
trim he's
replaced it
talking
around the door. I replaced it all around the top, on the front, and in
And
the
it's
back.
just a matter of popping it into the trunk, right, baby?
Right.
It wasn't complicated.
No, not at all. Let's see. Oh, and the propane. We have 2 propane tanks on here. We figured one tank will last us about 5 or 6 months, and that's pretty regular use in the winter months too.
Yeah, it's running our heater, cooking on our stove, which we've done a whole lot more cooking on weekend camping that we anticipate doing on our 2-week
Yes,
road trip,
yes.
because we're not going to be in one spot for more than 2 days.
Yeah, we
And
seven
so-
7 different campgrounds.
7 different campgrounds on our
Yes.
road trip out west.
Yes.
So-
So we'll be going we'll be on the road for maybe 14 or 15 days, and we're going to have 7 campgrounds, and we're going to be eating not fast food, just how do I say that? Just we're not going to be cooking a lot in the
Right.
camper.
Right. But there just won't be time. We'll be so tired from doing all the exploring on vacation that we would usually spend at the campground enjoying the campsite. We're going to be out and about doing vacationing things, touristy things.
Right.
So there will be a lot of eating lunch while we're wherever we are.
Right. And speaking of 3,500 miles, keep in mind that I get anywhere from 11 to 13 miles to the gallon pulling this thing. And 3,500 miles, that's, I think we figured right about 14 tanks of gasoline.
Which is our greatest expense.
Yeah, so it's gonna
It's the
be,
cost.
14 tanks at 24 gallons times an average of $3 a gallon. It'll probably be a lot more for the West. So it'll be
out west.
a little over $1,000
Gas
just in
prices
fuel.
are much higher
Yeah, just in gas.
on the west coast compared to
Yeah.
Louisiana, which is where we are.
So we laughed this morning. We were thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna go camp. We're taking the camper, and it's only like between $20 to $40 average for the camping spots. But when you spend $1,200 in fuel, that adds up too.
It does, especially when you head in the direction we're going, which is that way. We recently took a trip to Los Angeles.
Yes, that's
Mike
right.
had some work to do out
Yeah,
there,
I went
and
to Los Angeles. We went.
the gas prices are double. Right?
Yeah.
What we pay here for fuel, even diesel was more expensive.
Leaving
so.
here, it's $2.50 for the low grade, and in California, it's $4.50.
Yeah, it was outrageously high.
And
locals in Los Angeles couldn't believe that our gas was so cheap in Louisiana.
yeah, they were tickled to hear that.
So next time I want to complain about the price of gas, I'm going to stop myself and remember what it's like in Los Angeles when
Yes.
people fuel up. So
And on a little bit of a tangent, check your owner's manual on your truck, because I checked the owner's manual after we bought this one, and I'm supposed to be running 87 octane or higher while towing.
yes, which is a good tip.
Is it? I'm sorry, 89 octane while towing, not 87. 87 every other time, but towing is supposed to be 89 octane and higher.
So the higher octane improves your gas mileage?
No, the higher octane, it just makes the truck run more efficient.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's good to know. See, I
And
didn't know
the
that.
whole octane thing is a huge myth, but we won't get into that.
Okay. We won't get into that.
It has to do with compression. So anyway, another thing that we mentioned for prepping is we bought a Honda generator. Shouldn't be plugging companies, but we bought a Honda generator for the camper. It was a hurricane. We had a hurricane last year, and we figured, well, if we got to take off with the camper, let's just get a generator. But
It's compact.
yeah,
It's not huge,
Yeah.
and it's quiet.
it's the little Honda, but I haven't run it yet. It's still got the tags on it, so probably this weekend I'm going to pull it out, put oil in the engine, put a little bit of gasoline in it, and run it on the camper to make sure everything runs right. It only weighs maybe 30 pounds, so I'm going to put it in the back of the truck with the rest of the stuff. I don't know if we'll need it, but if something happens and we do need it, we'll have it.
And we're not actually putting that in the camper. That's going to ride on the back of the truck.
And ride the
Is that
back
right?
of the truck.
Okay. So yeah, and we got that at the World of Camping too.
Yes, the world of camping.
They had a good sale.
Yes. So let's see. I'm checking my list here. I guess I'll touch on this a bit. This is a relatively light camper. It's 3,800 pounds. You know, when you drive off the lot. And my truck, I haven't done anything to the suspension to pull it, and it squats just a little bit. The truck does. It's not a big deal. It rides pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and add some airbags to the back of my truck, since it's such a long run, and I want to be cautious. So anyway, I'm going to have airbags added to the pickup truck.
Now, for those of you who aren't as mechanically inclined, airbags are not like airbags inside your vehicle.
Oh,
They give your vehicle lift.
the
Which
airbags go on the rear. The ones I'm getting go on the back axle, and they actually add support to the coil springs, so that when you set the camper down, you could actually inflate the airbags so that your truck rides level. And when your truck is riding level, it's driving the way it was meant to drive. And then I'll make sure that the camper's level also. It's just safer, and it reduces wear and tear on the vehicle and the camper.
and it is a long trip, so it's better to be cautious.
Yes. Let's see. That's most of the stuff on the outside. We also talked about inside on a long trip. So phone chargers, snacks, bring in a couple of extra mats.
Inside the truck.
Yeah, in the truck.
Phone chargers.
So we don't have to
stay
stop.
in your truck.
Yeah,
and
our stops are for
Yeah.
fuel and to use the bathroom.
so we usually will carry a little ice chest in the back that we can put ham and turkey and stuff like that will
water,
serve us.
soft drinks.
And we can always replenish when we're on the road.
Yeah.
If we stop at a grocery, like we've told you before, we prefer to shop for the camper when we get to our destination. So
Yes.
it just makes more sense for us to do it
that way we don't load down the camper,
Right.
because you start loading down the camper, not only are you putting stress on your suspension system, but you're also taking away fuel efficiency, and
Right.
I'm all about that.
And grocery stores are everywhere, so
Yeah.
it's easy to find a place to pick up a few things.
Especially at
eggs
destination
and bacon,
campgrounds.
stuff like that.
So I'm looking at the list, and one of the things that I didn't really point out is check your spare tire.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Make sure the mountain is secure, make sure you have air in it, make sure it's not too old. Old tires will fall apart regardless of the tread wear, because that happened to us.
On our very first time out in our
in the
Nomad, our first camper,
So we
that
took
happened.
the Nomad out, and we only went to, it was an hour drive from here.
We were maybe 30 minutes in, and we had a blowout on the camper.
Now I have one of those huge tubs that I keep in the back of the truck, and it's got tools. It's got a small floor jack that'll pick up the camper.
An air pump.
Yeah, I have an air pump in there.
compressor, whatever.
Just a bunch of what if things are in this big tub.
Yeah.
And I load it every time, and I haven't. The only time I've used it was with the. No, I didn't even use it then. I got Gorilla Tape, air pump, a jack, hand tools, ratchets. Just a whole bunch of stuff. That what if.
And don't just check your camper spare. Make sure you also check your truck spare too, and your tires on your truck.
And shake the axles.
Did you talk about having rotate the tires on your truck and all that?
I don't know if I
don't
did,
think
but
you mentioned that
yeah,
yet,
I'm
but-
gonna have my tires on my pickup truck. Well, I'm due for it to have them rotated and balanced.
Yeah,
And
so
I'll
that's
also
good
check
too.
the spare tire.
That's part of
But
the checkup.
Yeah, it's real important to understand that old tires are more dangerous, or as dangerous as bald ones are low tread.
Maybe a good reminder too about the speed rating on the camper
Yes,
tires.
thank you. That's another big deal.
Because just because you can do 75 towing doesn't mean you should.
Right. So the tires on this camper are only rated for 65 miles an hour. So
Yeah.
I drive 65 miles an hour, not because I'm afraid pulling the camper, but I don't want to have a blowout.
Right.
And if we're going out west and the temperature is going to be higher,
Yeah.
the road surface is going to be
During
hotter.
the day, yeah.
Yeah, and then you start when you put 60 pounds of pressure in the morning, it'll probably go up to probably close to 65, 67 pounds of pressure per tire when it's really hot.
Right.
So
So yeah, be careful. Better safe than sorry, right,
Yeah.
guys?
yeah, things are going to happen. Just be as best prepared as you can. So we're going to move inside the camper. So the first thing we decided we were going to do inside the camper is not necessarily inside, but outside too, like these chairs. We're not taking these chairs. We're getting rid of stuff we're not going to be using.
We're not getting rid of. We're leaving it here. We went through the camper and assessed what we will need for a 2-week vacation versus a 2-day weekend. And so yes,
So we're unloading.
unloading, leaving certain things here that we would use on the weekend versus vacation.
Yes.
Like our double, I'm looking at it over here off camera. Our double seat chair, love seat.
Yep.
Our
The one that Jana got us.
the one that Jana got us, and we're also leaving these here
Yes.
because we don't anticipate having
Brought to you by
time.
John and Destiny.
We don't anticipate having time for our zero gravity chairs anyway because we're going to be on the go so much, and so this will free up some space for other things that we might need instead.
Yep.
So
It'll
our
free-
mat, we're not bringing our mat, our
No.
big black and white checkered mat, because that gives us more room in our front cubby.
We had a
And-
grill that was in the front cubby also that
Yeah.
we're not going to use, so I took that out. So basically, the things that we're not using, we're going to take out.
Right.
And
And it lightens our load,
Yep.
which is important for gas mileage, and it allows us to access without having to dig through things, and leaves more space for shoes. And what else? You know, the temptation is great to overload your camper because you think, oh, 2-week road trip, but you don't need to do that.
Yeah,
It's
this
not
is
necessary.
2021. We're not taking the wagon train
No, we're
across
not.
the desert. We're
So
driving.
if you get out there on vacation and you realize you've forgotten something or you need something, just, you know, there's stores everywhere. And Wally World, you know, is everywhere. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Big adventure.
Yep. All right. So once again, it's Mike.
And Angel,
We are Retro RV Recon. And
happy trails.
happy camping.